Hey everyone, in this video what I want to do is I want to show you how to set up your Inventor presentation file. We're going to bring in our quadcopter assembly into that presentation file. And then I want to show you some basic kind of settings, how to set up your drawing before you get started. And then what we'll do is probably in this video I'll have a little bit of time to kind of show you how to animate a camera. So that's what we're going to do. So what we want to do first is we want to go to File, New, because our quadcopter is in metric. We're going to use the metric template. I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom to the standard millimeter IPN, the presentation category. Hit that one, create it. And then I'm going to bring in my quadcopter assembly. I'm going to hit open, and then it's going to place it in. Let me move this thing out of the way. Sometimes it gets kind of there we go. Let's bring it down. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to set up your kind of the view that you have. So if you notice in the view cube, I'm going to kind of rotate this around. You can kind of see it might bring it in kind of wonky at first. So this is going to be my front view, obviously, because it has the cool words up here. There's my camera pointing at you. So that's going to be the front view, and it's already kind of set there. But if it wasn't, you would just like pick the view that you want to be the front. You would right click in the view cube, set current view as the front, and then the top view is the top. Make sure that when you hit the home picture, see how it's the home is it's looking up underneath it. That's not what we want. So I'm going to rotate this to where the home is kind of looking at a top, maybe this corner over here, and then kind of zoom in. So that's kind of what I want the home to look like. So once I get that set, I'm going to right click the picture of the little house and then set current view as home and then fit to view. And then, so now every time that I kind of get out of orientation, I just want to click the home picture and it's going to bring me right back to that kind of view. Once I have that, what I want to do is I'm going to go up to view. I'm going to kind of set the visual style that I like. So I probably want to use realistic. I want to put in some shadows probably. I also would recommend, instead of orthographic, you would probably want to use perspective. What else can we do? I like to set where it says 2 lights. Usually I put that on 1 light just because that's my kind of personal preference. And then if you want to use reflections, you can do that. I don't really find that necessary, so I'm just going to leave that reflections unchecked for now. So that's kind of where we want to start. And then I'm going to move this slider over to like the scratch position here, and I'm going to go to presentation. So if this is where I want my presentation to start, I'm going to go to capture camera, and then I'm going to slide my slider over to like, let's say 5 seconds. And then I'm going to hit the capture camera again. So basically it's going to, for the first 5 seconds of my video, it's going to be really still. It's going to look just like this. And then if I move it over to 10 seconds, and let's say that I want my camera somewhere around 10 seconds. Let's say I want my camera to maybe click to the front view and zoom in. Kind of get it all in the picture. My mouse is kind of wonky. So let's say we want it, let's say that's a good picture that we want. So it's set at 10 seconds. I'm gonna go up to capture camera again. I'm gonna click on it. So now what we have is, let me just kind of start the animation and just kind of show you what we've done so far. If I press the play button, so the first 5 seconds it does nothing, then it kind of slowly moves to the front view. So that's kind of what you want. As you're setting up your camera views, you want to make sure that your camera kind of moves slow and steady. You don't want it to kind of jerk all over the place and get whoever's watching it kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of queasy. gives them a headache, you know, like you're playing ping pong or something. So that's kind of what you want. And then let's say that I want to move this to 15 seconds. I can kind of look at another view. So let's look at the opposite corner. Kind of zoom in a little bit. Hit capture camera again. And I can kind of keep working my way around this thing to kind of let the user kind of see how awesome our copter is from all sides and all angles. And I'll just kind of keep going around. But I think you get the general idea here. Here we can do this, capture camera. I'll go back to this corner again. Like I said, you don't want it to move too fast, so I would kind of space these out, maybe 5 seconds or so. Capture it. Here's where I probably want to maybe zoom to like a top view. Kind of show what it looks like, kind of from a bird's eye view. And then let's go to 35 seconds or so on this one. Let's move that a little more. That's good, whatever. Anyway, create camera, capture camera, boom. So let me just kind of play what we have so far, and I'll start from the beginning and kind of notice how it kind of moves slow and steady. Usually slow and steady wins the race. So here's where it goes. And if you wanted to, you can increase the times that the camera moves around. So that's kind of bouncy a little bit, but you kind of get the general idea how it works. And then we're going to stop at the top. There's probably where I'm going to have my rotor start to spin from this view, but I'll show you that in another video. All right, so kind of practice moving your camera around, animating that, kind of getting it nice and neat and pretty. And then I'll make another video and we'll go to the next step. Cool.